He's real! He's in the game for real! Oh! No way! Oh my god! What the fuck? Ah! Ah! Oh my god! I knew it! Oh my god! It actually was him! K Rool! King K Rool, the king of the Kremlin crew and the best villain Donkey Kong has ever went up against throughout the whole Donkey Kong series, and no other antagonist in the Donkey Kong series can live up to the hype King K Rool brought to the table. King K Rool was first introduced in Donkey Kong Country 1994, where you fight him on his pirate ship. Then he went on to be on many other games, even some games that aren't even super mainline story based games. For instance, Donkey Kong Land 1995 and Donkey Kong Country 2 1995, Donkey Kong Land 2 1996, Donkey Kong Country 3 1996, Donkey Kong 64, and then DK King of the Swing 2005 on the Game Boy Advance, Donkey Kong Barrel Blast, which is like a racing Wii game, Super Mario Sluggers, and then of course Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and then was introduced back in to the mainline Donkey Kong series with Donkey Kong Bananza, which released this year, which is the main focus of this video. Before Donkey Kong Bananza, and not counting Smash Bros, party games or sports games K Rool might have been in, it has been 18 years since King K Rool has been in a mainline Donkey Kong game. Donkey Kong Bananza's main focus throughout the whole marketing of the game was taking down Void Kong, who we all believed to be the main antagonist. But everyone had their theories and speculations that King K Rool would return in some way, shape or form, especially when we went up against these ancient Kremlin shaped rock enemies. When we reach the Forbidden Lair, we are met with Void Kong in what is believed to be the planet's core, but weirdly enough it is shaped like King K Rool's stomach. But Void Kong appears and we defeat him with no problem at all. But Void manages to turn DK into an odd rock, just like he did with Pauline. Void then mentions the only way to save Donkey Kong is for Pauline to use her singing power, and not only would that save DK, but that would also awaken the Banandian root, also granting Void Kong what he wants. We then save Donkey Kong and Void rushes to what is believed to be the Banandian root, but then the unexpected happened. The king was back! Everyone, and I mean everyone's jaw dropped seeing his triumphant return after 18 years, especially when he looks so good in this game, and it is then revealed there is one more layer that leads into the real Banandian root, and that K Rool is the true antagonist and the final boss of this game. This had everyone hyped, including myself, which is saying something because before Donkey Kong Bananza, I will not lie to you, I have not played a Donkey Kong game before. Not one. Please don't hate me. But I just knew how much this character meant to everyone, and for him to come back with a striking punch to Void's face was brilliant. The first boss fight for K Rool takes place in the planet core with the Banandian root, and then he takes on a new form. This boss fight, while granted in my opinion was easy, it was awesome. With the music playing in the background and fighting this new and improved version of K Rool, it was great. The arena we were in as well was awesome, knowing that feeling of the finale was approaching after everything you've explored and been through in this game. It was reaching its end, and it brought nothing but pure hype levels. And then once we defeat K Rool, Pauline and Donkey Kong get their wishes and start heading to the surface. But then the screen fades to black and then this happens. Fake credits start playing, similar to the first time we went up against K Rool, and an amazing new version of Gallion starts playing. And oh my god, I thought originally this was going to be a tease to like a sequel to a new Donkey Kong game in the future, but I was wrong. The game kept going. with K Rool using his jetpack and charging at us using Void's power, using the controller Void always had on him to activate the ability he had. But if we do survive for long enough and throw a chunk of the banana crystal that's lifted us up at K Rool, both Pauline and Donkey Kong reach the surface, and so does K Rool. When we reach New Donk City, Pauline and Donkey Kong are overjoyed that they have arrived, but haven't lost focus on K Rool and not given up until they take him down, and when they spot him, he unleashes the power of the Bananza root and causes a banana mush tsunami on New Donk City. The whole city has then changed, with Kremlings everywhere and King K Rool propaganda everywhere also on the city's buildings. And we need to reach the city hall to reach K Rool, but we gotta be quick as the banana mush through the city is rising. But once we reach City Hall, there is a boxing arena with K Rool peacefully waiting for us to arrive. The final boss takes place in a boxing arena, right next to City Hall, similar to DK64's final boss. With an amazing new form, this form showed nothing but insanity and greed, which is fitting for K Rool, and K Rool's ultimate goal at that moment is to make sure that he takes down Donkey Kong once and for all. And even though K Rool is much stronger and is throwing new and different attacks at us, the boss fight wasn't super difficult though, in my opinion. I'd say it is a bit more difficult than the first boss though, but still, both the first and final boss fight we had with K Rool are fun and replayable, and you've got so much hype levels. Now, I have seen a lot of people debate on which fight slash villain is better, and that is Bowser specifically from Super Mario Odyssey or K Rool specifically from Donkey Kong Bananza. Bowser has got, I'd say, round about the same difficulties King K Rool's boss, specifically maybe the first boss fight, and the Bowser boss is still amazing overall. But one thing that is really cool about the ending of Odyssey is that you can play as Bowser with the soul of Mario inside of him using Cappy. It would have been cool to play as King K Rool for a section of the game, like playing as him going to City Hall, but a good counter to that is DK chasing after King Rool in the New Donk City. I'd say as of now both boss fights are equal, but if I had to choose one, I have to give it to K Rool for a couple of reasons. The comeback he made after 18 years surprising everyone was amazing. On top of that, the fake Kredits returning being a surprise and then making a huge impact on New Donk City by almost drowning all the people in the city with banana mush. It feels so fresh too, especially when you compare it to Bowser specifically from Odyssey, because all he is doing the exact same thing he has always done: kidnap Peach and try to marry her. Whereas King K Rool came back and not only wanted to take down Donkey Kong, he took over the whole entirety of New Donk City in just seconds and tried to become a strong being with the help of the power of the Bananza root. Bowser did ruin New Donk City, but compared to King K Rool, he had a much bigger impact. I mean, he made a statue of himself, for crying out loud, and he completely changed how the city looked, with the banana mush rising across the city and of course having propaganda of himself across the whole city. Along with that, there was 2 or technically 3 boss phases of King K Rool, specifically the boss fights in the finale of Donkey Kong Bananza. But for Odyssey, there was only one, but I think the escape scene where you have to transform into Bowser does make up for that. But I'd still personally give it to King K Rool being the better boss in my opinion. I'm now going to pass the rest of the video on to Kredits, as he knows everything Donkey Kong, and he'll be talking about just how big of an impact King K Rool's return was from his perspective, so take it away, Kredits.
K Rool's triumphant return goes so much deeper than bringing back a fan favorite character. There's been a tug of war over the soul of the Donkey Kong franchise ever since the Rare acquisition. So many different teams in different parts of the globe put their own spin on the games. They had their own interpretations of what it meant to be a Donkey Kong game and who belonged within it. We all watched DK hop from genre to genre in the 2000s, shedding different parts of the series' identity along the way. In this grand reset of Nintendo's original hit character, K Rool's Return vindicates the identity Rare injected into the series in the 90s. Donkey Kong Country wasn't a fad, it wasn't a mediocre game carried by graphics, and most of all, it wasn't devoid of incredible characters. There have been so many villains since, but K Rool stands atop the pile, even referenced in Super Smash Bros. As Donkey Kong's Bowser or Ganondorf. We don't need to go searching for the perfect enemy for Donkey Kong. Turns out he was right in front of us all along, buried underneath the surface. In one sense, K Rool's declaration of his return is meant to be taken in-universe, but in another, it's a loud statement from the developers to the players about their intentions going forward. From the looks of it, this will be the first of many altercations between Kongs and Crocs, and I'm excited to see what comes next.
K Rool made one of the most epic returns for a villain ever in gaming history, specifically when it comes to returning to mainline story games and not games like Smash Bros. And Super Mario Sluggers. His theme is amazing, and I'm glad that even though Smash Bros.' theme really done it well, I'm glad for the first time when King K Rool got reintroduced back into a mainline Donkey Kong game, his theme was so good. So Nintendo, the team at Super Mario Odyssey who made this game, you made it peak. And I'm so glad they brought back one of the greatest antagonists in gaming history back of all time.